let's just say for a moment that all of a sudden the Sport Glide ceased to exist and I was left without a bike. Let's say I had to choose my Harley Davidson all over again. What would it be? Now, if you watch this channel, you know that one thing I love about my Sport Glide is versatility. And that's something that I would want if I had to choose another Harley Davidson. Versatility meaning that it gives me a bike that I can commute on, I can travel on, I can have fun in the twisties on, something that can handle everything. I am never going with a bike that doesn't have saddlebags ever again. That's the first thing. And I like the stock OEM saddlebags compared to aftermarket. I just love the quality of them, whether it's on my Sport Glide or whether it's on the touring bikes as well. So already that narrows down my options. You can support this channel by giving this video a like and subscribing if you haven't already. And I'm going to break down to you the 3 Harley Davidsons I would consider if the Sport Glide didn't exist. Let's go. Alrighty, so the first bike on my list, the bike that comes in 3rd place. For me, that would be the Harley Davidson Heritage Softtail. I really love this bike. In fact, I would go as far to say that this is my favorite stock Softtail. Meaning, if I had to buy a bike and I couldn't do anything to it, I just had to ride it stock for the rest of the time that I owned it, it would be the Heritage Softtail. I think that bike is beautiful right out of the factory. It has everything I need. It's got some wind protection for some long trips. It's got saddlebags for my commuting needs and my long distance travel needs. I love the classic styling of it. Now that it's been blacked out as well, it looks really mean and modern at the same time, which I really enjoy. I just think it's a really beautiful, beautiful motorcycle, a quintessential Harley Davidson. That's why it's on my list. If I had to choose a color, well look, you can't go wrong with a black Harley Davidson. I also really like that spruce and silver pine they have going on this year. And so those would be my 2 picks. The second bike on my list that I am really liking the look of from Harley Davidson is the Electra Glide Standard. It's like a street glide, but it doesn't have all of the frills that someone like me doesn't really want. Now look, I love the street glide. It's probably the most beautiful Harley Davidson in the lineup, but I just don't see myself needing all of the electronics. I don't need speakers, I don't need nav, all of that's on my phone and in my helmet, okay? The Electra Glide presents a touring bike with a full fairing without any of that. That's the kind of bike that I'm interested in. I would love to take that and turn it into a performance bagger, throw on some MX bars, 2-into-1 pipe, maybe some engine build, a really nice saddleman seat, and that bike would absolutely rip for around town commuting and obviously those long distance rides too. Actually, you know what, if I'm being really honest, what I would really want is for Harley Davidson to build a road glide version of the Electra Glide Standard premise. So a road glide without any of the bells and whistles, no speakers, no nav, just something ready to turn it into a performance bagger. That's something that I want to see. But anyway, that doesn't exist. So let's get back on the bike and go on to number 1. My number 1 choice for the bike I would choose if the Sport Glide didn't exist.
Alrighty, this is it. Number 1. The number 1 bike I would consider from Harley Davidson if the Sport Glide ceased to exist. Well, I would choose the Road King. That's right, the touring bike that is synonymous with Harley Davidson style and culture. But the question really is, the Road King Special or the Road King Standard? And as much as I like the blacked out, aggressive look of the Special, you know I am privy to a bit of chrome, and that's why I'd have to go the Standard. Now, let the caveat be known that I would choose the Road King Standard, providing I could do some work to it. I'd want to change a lot of it out, and I wanted to make it into my own purpose-built performance bagger. First off, I'd have to start off with a bit of color. I wouldn't be going a black Road King. In fact, In the 2019 model year, there was a really nice two-tone candy red, which was absolutely stunning. I also really like the 2020 silver pine and spruce. I think that looks killer as well. Then what I would do is I'd swap out that shield for a drop top from Memphis Shades. I'd then throw on a 2-into-1 pipe, chromed out of course. I'd change out the seating on there and probably go with like a Lucky Dave's or even maybe a Saddleman profile. I keep it real low and clean and minimal. And last but certainly not least, those bars. So I would be throwing on some chromed out Thrash and Supply risers with some high bend MX bars to really give it a semi-performance but also a real cool nostalgic 70s look, in my opinion. I think those high thrash and bars would look absolutely sweet on a Road King standard like that. And now the reason I would choose the Road King in general is just because it is a lightweight touring bike. It's obviously heavier than the Sport Glide, but it's still pretty good compared to the other bikes in its category. I really like the bags. I really love the hard bags, and I like the fact that they're not the stretch version. I quite like the standard bag. And of course it has the capability for wind protection as well, so it's kind of got everything there that I need for a versatile motorcycle. It probably wouldn't be as nimble and fun in the twisties as my Sport Glide is. That being said, I would probably benefit from some of the comfort aspect of that bike. And now that I'm doing longer and longer trips on my bike, I would see the advantage in a bike that is, you know, more preferred on that kind of style riding. Anyway guys, look, that's my three. Those are the bikes that I would choose if the Sport Glide didn't exist. Let me know in the comments below what your three favorite bikes from Harley Davidson are and why. I want to know, and I'm sure everyone else does too. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Get out and ride some damn motorcycles if you can, and I'll catch you on the next video. Alrighty, stay safe. Peace.